Yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're a bearded dragon owner or maybe someone who's looking to keep bearded dragons, you may be wondering whether there's signs to tell if your bearded dragon is happy and healthy. So in today's video, I would like to share with you 5 simple signs that your bearded dragon is happy, healthy and thriving. So let's begin the video. Okay, so the first sign to tell if your bearded dragon is happy and healthy would be by studying their eyes. A healthy bearded dragon would have eyes which are very bright, full of life, very clear looking, but also their eyes should be extremely alert. Their eyes should look focused and responsive to any kind of movement and basically anything which is going on around them. For example, if you just walk past their enclosure, they should naturally start looking at you. Your bearded dragon's eyes should not show any signs of cloudiness or any kind of discharge coming from their eyes, but also your bearded dragon's eyes shouldn't be swollen, so bulging out basically, and their eyes should also not be sunken. Now, if your bearded dragon shows any of these signs, then this could be an indicator that your bearded dragon is dehydrated, or it could have an eye infection of some sorts, as well as an underlying health problem. So I would recommend seeking veterinary advice for if you are experiencing any of these signs. But like I say, your bearded dragon's eyes should be bright and full of life. And this is a great indicator that your bearded dragon is happy and healthy. Now, the second sign that your bearded dragon is happy and healthy would be judging how active and curious they are. A healthy bearded dragon would spend a lot of its time exploring all of its enclosure and really making the most of all of the space within inside it. And this also includes basking frequently each and every day, but also interacting with everything inside its enclosure. Like I say, a healthy bearded dragon would be extremely active throughout the whole day. But also your bearded dragon should show lots of signs of curiosity behaviour. Bearded dragons are extremely curious lizards. And you can see how curious this little fella is. He's constantly checking everything out, wondering what's going on. And this is a great sign that your bearded dragon is curious. They should be curious at pretty much everything and anything that's going on. And this includes things going on outside of their enclosure. Your bearded dragon shouldn't be lethargic or sluggish, and your bearded dragon should not be uninterested in anything going on around it. Now, if your bearded dragon is extremely lazy and spends all of its time hiding away, then this could be an indicator that your bearded dragon might be a bit too cold, and you may need to assess your temperatures within inside your enclosure. Also, it could indicate that your bearded dragon is stressed out or is unwell and has an underlying health problem. Don't get me wrong, I know beardies have their lazy moments. I know that they love to chill out. But when I say lazy, what I actually mean is that they're very sluggish or unresponsive to you. Like I say, this is unusual behaviour, and bearded dragons should naturally be very curious lizards and extremely active and highly alert. Now, the next sign that I would like to share with you to help you determine whether your bearded dragon is happy and healthy or not is your bearded dragon should have a strong appetite and should eat very frequently. They should get very excited when you actually offer them food. You'll probably notice them run straight to the bowl or straight to the feeding tongs when they're being offered the food. And this is a great sign that your bearded dragon has a strong appetite. Like I say, they should almost be sort of hyper when it comes down to eating. Now, if your bearded dragon suddenly stops eating and won't touch anything at all, no matter what, and is simply turning its nose up every single time that you offer him food, and this includes bugs, and you've noticed that this has happened for over several days and a long period of time, then this could indicate a problem. For example, you may have a problem with your temperatures being out, and therefore your bearded dragon isn't actually able to digest properly. Or there could be an underlying health problem or some kind of injury, which I would advise seeking veterinary advice on if this is the case. Now, please keep in mind that bearded dragons go through a cycle called brumation, and this occurs during the winter months. And during this period, it is natural for your bearded dragon to have somewhat of a loss of appetite whilst they are in brumation. Like I say, this happens during the winter months, so if it's happening during this time, then it's likely to be part of the brumation cycle. But if you're in the middle of summer and your bearded dragon stops eating completely, then obviously brumation isn't going to be the reason behind it, and therefore I would advise seeking veterinary advice and get your bearded dragon eating again. Like I say, a happy and healthy bearded dragon wouldn't turn down the opportunity to have some food, because these little guys are proper gannets when it comes down to eating, and they love their food. Now, the next sign that your bearded dragon is happy and healthy would be that your bearded dragon is spending a lot of time basking and digesting properly. Basking is extremely important for your pet bearded dragon. Your dragon should spend time each and every single day basking underneath their heat lamp. Since bearded dragons are a cold-blooded lizard, they need adequate heat in order to thermoregulate themselves properly, as well as properly digest their meals. If your bearded dragon is digesting properly, you'll know, because they'll leave you a massive stinky poo to clean up. Now, if your bearded dragon completely avoids your basking area and does not spend any time whatsoever basking throughout the daytime, and spends most of its time on the cold side of the enclosure, but also seems very dark in coloration, and this could be an indicator that there isn't a sufficient temperature gradient within inside the enclosure, or even your UVB bulb is insufficient. It could also mean that your bearded dragon is stressed out and unwell, causing them not to bask properly. Usually this would happen when the enclosure temperatures are way too hot and your bearded dragon is struggling to cool itself down. So like I say, your bearded dragon should frequently bask. They should naturally move themselves to different areas of the enclosure to receive different temperature gradients. Another way to determine whether your bearded dragon is happy and healthy is by assessing how well they actually shed their skin, but also how healthy their skin actually is. Bearded dragons will shed their skin as and when they're growing. Young bearded dragons like this little fella will do it a lot more frequently than an adult would. Adults tend to shed their skin in sections rather than all at once like a young bearded dragon would. A healthy bearded dragon wouldn't have lots of stuck shed on them, and their skin should look smooth and clear. They should also have intact skin with no visible wounds or ulcers on it, meaning that when they do go to shed their skin, they should be able to shed their skin in large, easy to remove pieces without any remaining scales clinging to them. Now, if your bearded dragon has lots of stuck shed and dry patches and seems to be irritated by those areas where it has stuck shed, then this could indicate a health problem, or it could simply just be down to dehydration. But also their skin shouldn't be a red color or have any kind of inflammations to it. Also, lots of patches of necrotic skin, which has a foul sort of odor to it, usually can indicate things like scale rot. So if you have any of these kind of signs, I would highly suggest seeking veterinary advice, because this could be an indicator that your pet bearded dragon is unwell. You can also make sure that your bearded dragon stays hydrated, which also reminds me that you should frequently bath your bearded dragon. And by bathing your bearded dragon, not only are they going to have an opportunity to drink, but also by bathing them frequently, you're going to help aid the process of shedding. And over several days of bathing your bearded dragon, you should notice the stuck shed patches will start to come off a lot easier. But if the stuck shed is persistent and it doesn't come off at all, then I definitely would go and seek a vet's advice. So now that we've covered 5 good positive signs that you have a happy and healthy bearded dragon, let's go over a few warning signs that your bearded dragon might not be doing so great. Obviously, we've already touched on a few things within this video already, but there are certainly a few extra warning signs that I would pay attention to. So number 1 would be loss of appetite, which we have already gone over. This is usually one of the biggest indicators that your bearded dragon might not be doing so well. Second of all is lethargy and extreme sluggish behaviour. Honestly, lethargy is usually the biggest sign that your bearded dragon isn't doing so great, and is a great indicator that something isn't quite right. Because like we've already mentioned, bearded dragons are usually fairly active. Lethargy behaviour and uninterested behaviour can indicate lots of different things. Third of all, we have swollen joints and difficulty moving. This can often indicate that your bearded dragon has had an injury, or it could be something like MBD, which is metabolic bone disease. Metabolic bone disease is a complex disorder, which unfortunately isn't uncommon in pet bearded dragons. Fourth of all is a black beard 24/7, and having a black beard all of the time throughout the entire day. This can indicate that they are stressed out, or they're not getting something which they're needing. I see this a lot when people haven't changed their UVB tube for over a year, and therefore their bearded dragon isn't getting adequate UVB. But also I find that if the enclosure environment isn't correct for a prolonged period of time, and this also can sometimes make that black beard happen 24/7 all of the time. Excessive prolonged black beard in your bearded dragon can indicate a health problem or even an injury that they are in pain from. It could also indicate what's called malnourishment, which is basically when they're not getting proper levels of nutrition. Now, don't get me wrong, it is natural for your bearded dragon to display a black beard time from time, especially if there's a female around. And a black beard can mean lots of different things. And there are several reasons behind why they are doing it and what they're trying to say. And like I say, this is natural to happen for a short period of time. Sometimes it can happen for 2 minutes. Sometimes it can happen for 5 to 10 minutes. This is perfectly natural. But what isn't natural is when your dragon is displaying that black beard 24/7 and isn't returning its beard back to normal. This would definitely be something that I wouldn't avoid. Now, last of all is if your bearded dragon has unusual runny poop, because this could indicate something like parasites. So that's our top 5 signs that your pet bearded dragon is happy and healthy. Let us know in the comments if your bearded dragon is showing all of the signs of being a happy and healthy bearded dragon. If you found this video helpful and you enjoyed this video, maybe consider dropping us a like to let me know that you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We have lots more bearded dragon videos lined up for this year. Also, make sure to follow us on social media. Just simply type in @HoopsReptile. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and yeah, I shall see you in my next video. See ya!